Hello and welcome to the New Testament reading for day 188. We're in Acts and Paul's been in prison, he's been on trial, he's been questioned, and here he's been pulled in front of this king Agrippa, which, as Ali shared yesterday, was something that God had spoken to Ananias about, that Paul would be used to proclaim the gospel to the Gentiles and their kings. So here he is in this room full of prominent people, high-ranking officers, and Paul gets his opportunity to share his story, to share his amazing testimony. As we've seen, Paul used to hate Christians. He used to see them in prison. He used to have them killed. In 26 verse 11, he says, "I was so obsessed with persecuting them that I even hunted them down in foreign cities." And then, as we know, on the road to Damascus, there's this bright light from heaven that comes down, this voice that says, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" And in this passage, there's another bit that God says, "It is hard for you to kick against the goads." And this seems like quite a strange phrase to us, but this was a Greek proverb. It was a familiar term the Jewish people would have heard, and it was an agricultural term, a term in farming. A goad would be like this stick with a sharp flint, a sharp edge on the end, a little bit like a spur, and it would be used to steer oxen, to steer the animals when they were farming, when they were ploughing the fields. And sometimes the oxen would kick out against the goad, and this would obviously cause the sharp edge to go into their leg and cause pain. So it'd be used in that way. And I think the people here would have understood what this phrase meant, what it was saying. It's a challenge for us all. When we struggle against God's will, it causes us pain, it causes us harm. And I think that's something we can reflect on. I'm going to reflect on, and for us all, in what ways are we struggling against God's will? You know, in what ways is his conviction and his little prompting in our lives are we kind of trying to kick against and trying to ignore? Because when we encounter Jesus, just like Saul did on the road to Damascus, it changes us.